it's Ed with Slow Car Fix, and I'm going to work on my 55 again today. It's been a little bit, and I'm going to try and weld in some panels in the back. I have been working on kind of dialing this patch in here down using some layout blue. I'm going to try and weld in the corners in the back if I can today. I haven't had a lot of time lately, so I'm going to try and make some progress today. So this is where I left off the last time. You can see I've got the tail panel mocked in, and I've got these corners in kind of set in place, and I've got the quarters are just clamped on. If you watched any of my shorts, I did a YouTube short. I was actually sick for a few weeks, and one of the shorts I did, I exposed some nastiness. Yeah, so that's all fiberglass, and that side over there is the exact same thing. So yeah, that's going to be, a lot of people have commented already and said, you know, do wider wheel tubs and everything, but I don't know that that's necessarily what I need to do for my uses. I do have a question though. If any of you guys have done this before and done the inner wheel tubs, the inner wheel thing, do you buy them in one piece or do you buy them in the 3 or 4 pieces? Because it does kind of, there's a piece down here, and then there's a piece up here, and then there's a piece up here, and then there's a piece over there. I think the one-piece ones are maybe offshore made, and maybe they're not as good, but let me know in the comments if you guys have any experience with that. The good news is, these are just clamped on, so I can take this off, and I have a lot of access behind there. I still have to figure out, this is kind of, the car is misshaped a little bit, and I know these panels aren't exactly perfect, these aftermarket panels, but that's a big difference right there. That's, you know, half an inch. So that's going to be fun, and you can see where it's been hit and slide hammered before. So I'm sure that'll be a fiasco. I have, like I said, done some work here. Obviously the blues are where it hasn't been sanded off are my lows. And I'm just trying to get my highs and lows all sorted out on that, where I grafted in that panel. It's coming along. I haven't had a lot of time to spend on it lately because I've been working a lot, and then like I said, I was sick for a few weeks with some thing that's going around. So I'm going to try and section this corner in, because this one I like. This other side over here, I don't really have the fit the way I'd like. So I'm going to start on this one. And realistically, if I get this in today, that's probably good because I don't have a huge pile of time. But I got to tie this all together because I can't work on any of this stuff until the car is held together side to side with this tail panel. Because as soon as I take this out, it all kind of moves around and moves in and out. So I got to work on that now. All right, I gotta try and figure out where I left off, and then I think I'm just gonna start right with this one. And try and cut this out, push this in, and make this be one with this. And yeah, I think that's a good enough place to start. So I made some progress, not as much as I would like, never is, especially on this car. But I've got the corner pieces tacked in, and the one side I like, I'm okay with. The other side, not really. I might either have to cut it out and undo and redo it, which is not a big deal, it's only tacked in. Or look at the shape of my trunk lid, because my trunk lid seems, everything's out of whack on this car. It was definitely hit on the back driver's side corner, and I'm dealing with that now. And I could have been, probably was several decades ago that it was hit, and now I am fixing it. Why? I don't know. So I'll show you what I'm looking at, and yeah, I picked up something for the shop too. I'll show you that too. Slowbug is in here. Slowbug had a bad battery, so Slowbug got a new battery. The one thing I picked up for the shop is a giant brake. It's a lot bigger than the one that I have. A friend of mine was interested in the one that I have. It's a 48-inch. It's good for 16 gauge. It's a finger brake. This is also says it's good for 16 gauge, and it's a finger brake. It's been sitting around a while, so I'm gonna have to oil it up. But it's a 5-foot brake, and it's just a little more robust. It's on some casters, so it should be good for me to move around, and should be a nice addition. Yeah, so 55. So yeah, this is all in here, like my trunk lock. I've never had this thing closed or latched since I've got the car, because it just, well, that was the trunk thing. So this side is okay. This side I'm good with. It sits a little proud on the trunk lid. Now there is a weather strip on this, but which is okay because there's going to be a weather strip on it. It sits a little proud. It's pretty good here. It's a little low here, but that's okay because, you know, I got to have room for filler and stuff. And my gap along the bottoms, is fine. This side over here I don't like. It's sitting way high on this side and way out. I can get my whole mid in there. So I'm gonna have to play with this side some more. My gap on the front is very tight here on this side. So if I bring that back some, it's not really gonna help. It's gonna make that worse. And then this does need to come back some. So I don't like this whole deal. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I'm gonna have to do more investigating. Like I said, when I got this car, the trunk wouldn't close, nothing lined up because this whole back was just gone. It's that piece there, and the corners were just not there. So I'm really trying to figure out. I'm trying to make something out of nothing, and probably spending way too much time because this is going to be like my 57 truck. That's kind of like a patina sort of thing. And my 57 truck doesn't have a straight panel on it, so, and which is pretty much my favorite thing about it. But this isn't cool. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This, like, if I could get this to sit down like that, that's getting closer to being okay. But this thing here, where my fingers go in, that's not good. And I've looked at a lot of 55s at the shows to try and get a look at how that fits. And they'll fit a hell of a lot better than this. So I'm gonna have to play with it some more. I'm gonna have to see what's going on. It doesn't even, like, I don't even know if this was the original trunk lid to the car. Let me know in the comments if you've noticed any inconsistencies with these trunk lids fitting the car, because really, like, even though it's sitting high here, it's not even really the same profile as the car itself. Now, it could be that I have everything in the back way too high, which doesn't allow the trunk lid to come down, but which I can fix. This is only tacked in. I've got my width right, so I can just cut that on each side, lower it down. But I'm not really sure that that's it. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. Let me know what you guys think. It's progress. It's all progress, but this is a damn big project. Obviously, I still have to take care of this, which is what I have that door in here for, because I have to take the skin off and put it on here. And that will graft right into about this line, which is good. And then it will look like this side, where I have this nice little seam here. This side is not welded yet. This one is welded, and I'm just, like I said earlier, I'm trying to get that hammer and dollying that smooth. It's coming along. I want this weld to be, this welded area to be like this, where there's the blue showing, where it's just a little low, because then it can take some filler. I don't want to get crazy with filler, but there's going to be a lot of filler in this car. There's no two ways about it. There's going to be fiberglass stranded filler, and then there's going to be regular filler. But that's okay, because I don't care. But this is how I want it. If the whole thing can be like this, every seam, with just a little low like that, then that's perfect. I got a little dent to take out here, but it's coming. It's really coming along. Like this part is really coming along, I should say. So obviously I got down as far as I could, because I just clamped this thing in place here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to scribe a line on this quarter, and then I'm going to measure down whatever that is, 1 inch, and I'm going to cut at that line, and then I'm going to half lap this underneath. I don't usually like to half lap. I usually like to butt weld, and then it ends up like that. But I think with this big of a panel, I want as minimal distortion as possible, and the way to get the minimum amount of distortion is to have thicker material. And if these are half lapped, that's fine. I'll weld it, and I'll have it all down flush, and then I can seam seal the back side, and I'm going to have lots of time to access the back side. So in here will be tough, because that's the wheel well, and I'm going to put in those wheel well pieces, but all in here I can get at, and all in here I can get at from the inside to seam seal it and seal it up so it's not going to break out. And it'll be fine. For my purposes, this is going to be perfect. But I got to figure out this trunk thing. All right, let me know what you think in the comments. Sorry I've been away. I've been, like I said, there's this funny thing going around for the last couple of years, and eventually it caught me. So that took me out of the game for a little bit, but here I am, and I'm back working on it. So I'll show you just a quick look of what else is going on around here. It's late October, right? So it's getting to be just about time to put stuff away, put junk away. So the 57 trucks outside. Been using that for a bunch of stuff because my Ram is in the shop. I got stuff sort of shuffled around a little bit. The Malibu is, I think the USB cell charger thing that I got in the car is killing the battery, so I got the battery on a tender, just trying to bring it back. Yeah, Mustang's uncovered because I had a bunch of people over. I had the Model A out. And this car is not mine. This is a friend of mine's. He is converting this to EV. He has bought a Tesla Model S P90 motor and a bunch of batteries and goodies. It's actually quite a nice car. And he came over a couple weeks ago and we gutted the car. Took all the powertrain out, took the front suspension out, took everything. I think he's doing some sort of hot rod front suspension. I'm not really sure. But yeah, she's empty. I have to tack weld this cart to the car, and then it's going to some shop that's going to finish it. I wasn't doing anything other than I bought the powertrain and I bought the cross member and basically all the stuff we took off the car I bought. So I have all that now, just what I need, more parts. And this is the powertrain. It's actually quite a nice powertrain. It's a 110 horse power glide. Transmission's no good, but the engine's really good. Just leaks a little bit, as Corvairs tend to do. So the Corsa, I haven't driven it in a few weeks, because things. And I had the 64 out a few weeks ago, so that's good. Other than that, that's my junk summary. And this is my mess. Why do I always end up working in like 4 square feet of space when I have a building this size? Anyways, so for those of you that are following along, please stick with me. It's going to progress. It's just going to be slow. Once I get past the metal, which is tedious and building something out of nothing, it'll go relatively quickly. Let me know what you guys think. Curious? I'll catch you on the next one.